At 3:30, we have arguably the best game of the day. You got number 3 Alabama, who's lucky to be 6-0. I want to get that straight. They are absolutely been gifted by God 6-0. By the way, Will Anderson, you are not the standard. Like, Alabama's not the standard anymore. At least not in my opinion. I think if you're talking about the standard, how you should be playing football, I think you look at Kirby Smart's Georgia, or I would go Ryan Day's Ohio State. That, in my opinion, is the standard on how to play college football right now, is Ryan Day's Ohio State. I think Kirby Smart's Georgia, I think the only reason they're not is because of the Missouri game. I like to point out, Alabama's been playing pretty sloppy football. That's not the standard in college football. Like, that's not how you set the standard. Alabama's been penalized so many times. And I like to point out the only reason they were able to escape Texas is because they hurt Quinn Ewers. If Quinn Ewers is healthy, Texas easily wins that football game. They still almost won. You don't have Bryce Young anymore to really cover all the huge holes in your team. Massive, massive problems that you have. Texas A&M almost exposed them last week and beat you at home. A&M almost went on the road and beat you. A bad A&M team, by the way. That's not a good A&M football team. That's not the A&M team from last year. This is a bad A&M team this year. A&M team that lost to App State. This is not a good Aggies team. And you should have lost to them. If not for the weirdest play call I've ever seen. You're at the 2-yard line. You could run the ball, which you've been doing all day. You could do an inside curl to a tight end, which hasn't been covered for the majority of the day. Instead, you force your quarterback to make a very tough throw on a curl route to the very far side of the football field. Just a bad play call. On, like, the biggest play of the game, to have that play call. By the way, that was pass interference. But, we'll just ignore it because it's Alabama. But that's a bad play call. But A&M's one horrible play call away from upsetting you. Talking about also, you're traveling to number 6 Tennessee. Tennessee team that's 5-0 and only played 2 close games so far. Florida, which is a game that was close, but Tennessee obviously outplayed them, unfortunately for my Gators. And then a Pitt game, which was very close as well, but Tennessee obviously outplayed them there as well. It was just close. You can play close football games, I think, and you're still a really good football team. Tennessee's a really good football team. Alabama somehow favored by 7 points on the road, and I think it's because of the stats I'm going to go over in a little bit on CBS. Bryce Young has gone 90-134, thrown for 1,202 yards, 14 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Jahmyr Gibbs on the ground has had 64 carries for 532 yards and 2 touchdowns. A Trayshawn Holden D's nuts, got him. He's had 18 catches for 223 yards and 4 touchdowns. Hendon Hooker, I hardly know her, for Tennessee has gone 98-140, thrown for 1,432 yards, 10 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Jalen Wright on the ground has had 67 carries for 315 yards and 4 touchdowns. And Jalen Hyatt through the air has had 27 catches for 388 yards and 5 touchdowns. Alabama leads the series all time, 58-38. Last 15 games have gone to Alabama, ranging from 2007 to 2021. Last time Tennessee won was in 2006. That's also the last time they won at home. I think what's going to be really, really fascinating this football game is Tennessee has not beaten Alabama in a while. And do we see the normal Tennessee thing of shooting themselves in the foot against a team that you probably are better than, but you somehow lose it because you're cursed like that? Or it's just like they're in your players' heads. They lose so often to Alabama that is it going to be like one of those where you lose to them just because you always lose to them? We'll see. Also, I think a big factor in this game is, does Bryce Young play? Because even if Bryce Young does play, you're getting a not fully healthy Bryce Young, which makes me worried about how well he can actually throw the football. And if Jalen Milrose plays, I think this should be an easy W for Tennessee. I think this could go either way if Bryce Young plays. I think Tennessee's only problem is if they just can avoid mistakes. Hendon Hooker has been playing phenomenally well, knock on wood. He's thrown 0 interceptions on the year. Hendon Hooker has been playing, honestly, one of the best quarterbacks in all college football. Maybe C.J. Stroud's better, but honestly, Hendon Hooker's up there. I think it's going to be interesting, but give me Tennessee, the upset at home. Knock down a top 4 football team.